Hey, fellas, down at the Sentinel, you like what I'm wearing? You guys all got one of these, didn't you? You like that, Charles?
No, what is that?
That is the Matt Murschell Christmas card tie.
Oh,
right?
oh,
It's this
okay.
little, it's that little
I'm
thing.
not on the list.
Yeah, see that? It's those little things that stick together, and I got one. So I'm feeling pretty big
I've seen those around the office, but I haven't been lucky enough to get one yet.
Well, he may not like you. That's okay.
I'm pretty sure that's probably true.
But he likes us, so it's all good. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Disney. It's crowded down there right now.
It's very crowded. The Osborne lights, which I have to admit, embarrassingly, I didn't know much about the Osborne lights until this year, and my wife's family made fun of me, so we went last week, and I got to experience this firsthand, and Dwayne Bevel joins me now to talk about it. I mean, if you haven't seen those lights before, it's amazing. I can understand why so many people want to go, especially because this is the final year.
It's last call for the Osborne lights.
20 years that they've done this.
20 years.
It's coming to an end. You have 19 days left, I calculated, if you count tonight.
All right, well, let's count tonight.
Okay, so maybe explain why is it ending for people who don't understand.
Okay, Disney announced earlier in the year that they would be discontinuing the Osborne family spectacle of dancing lights after 20 years.
Proper term.
Proper term. And it's in order to prepare for new experiences in the future, namely the Toy Story Land and the Star Wars Land that they are planning.
These lights have moved before. They've been another part of the park at Hollywood Studios. They moved it to where they currently are. Any chance that they move the lights to another place on Disney property?
Disney's current line is they have no plans to repurpose them anywhere else.
Okay, you believe that?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the crowds they draw. You think that's just throwing away the long lines and crowds that they get at the holidays.
Well, it's a giant project.
Yeah.
You have to have a lot of place. You have to have a lot of space to put it in. That has another purpose. It's tricky.
I'm going to file that under to be determined. Okay. I'm not convinced yet. But all right. So with all these big crowds, one thing that I experience myself personally is the parking situation. We pulled into Hollywood Studios. Even though it looked like there were some spots available, they made us turn around and go to Epcot. And you understand the reasoning behind that. I learned this.
I had the same experience you had, so I called and said, "What's up with that?" So basically, they are keeping spots on Sundays. They are keeping spots near the studios open for the rush hour, essentially, so that it will not jam up the streets of Disney World. Most people go for the lights around dusk when they're not on during the day. They put them on. People tend to come in the late afternoon, early evening. And so earlier in the day, they're moving people to the Epcot parking lot and then shipping them over, which, all right, maybe this makes parking lot sense. I don't know. It's math. I don't know. But it's contrary to what we are used to as a first come, first serve thing. There's a reason for this, and I think the traffic would be even worse if we all went at the same time and tried.
Okay, so you're saying
and then all those people have to go to Epcot. I'm going to trust that this makes more sense.
So if you do get sent to Epcot, the buses are more frequent, so that's one thing. But there's other ways you could potentially get to the park.
Technically, there are three options. There's the bus that goes from Epcot to Hollywood Studios, in which they've increased the frequency. I had to wait maybe 10 minutes. You can walk. There's a walkway from the National Gateway at Epcot all the way through Disney's Boardwalk over to Hollywood Studios.
Can't be super close.
It's about a mile.
About a mile, okay.
There's about a mile from the gateway, so you'd have to get back to the gateway.
And do all your walking in the park. That's
and
do
all your walking in the park. And you have to be able to, you have access to both parks. You have to be able to get into Epcot, so you have to be an annual pass holder or a park hopper to do that.
Okay.
So, I personally like the bus. There's also a boat you can take to the International Gateway, but it makes several stops. So, from what I see, it takes about 25 minutes to hoof it over there.
Something new at Hollywood Studios that I noticed when I was there, and it's timely because of the Star Wars movie coming out. They have this thing called the Star Wars Launch Bay that's just opened a couple of weeks ago. Hey, that's me and my son taking a picture with Darth Vader at the Star Wars Launch Bay. I was probably way more into it than he was.
Yes.
Yeah, he was like, oh, this is okay. So tell us about this place.
So another reason that more people are paying attention to the Hollywood Studios right now is there's a Star Wars element. They're increasing that as it goes. Star Wars Launch Bay. It's a lot of exhibits. It's an opportunity to meet Darth Vader and Chewbacca right now. There's a gift shop. There's the Cantina replica, which is kind of cool.
It has blue milk.
It has blue milk. There are Jawas walking around. There are replicas of movie props. Not to be confused with actual movie props. And genuine replicas and costumes and stuff. It's pretty browsable for a Star Wars fan.
John, I got to tell you, the store that they have has super high-end items. We're talking $5,000 to $10,000 costumes that look straight off of the movie that you can buy. Be a stormtrooper, be Darth Vader.
How many did you buy?
Insane amounts of. I couldn't afford a single thing in the store. I looked the whole way around and saw nothing I could afford.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
So.
But you know what? It's only going to get more popular over the next couple of weeks. So. All right.
No doubt.
How long did it take you, by the way, on the bus? Just out of curiosity, because we're going tomorrow night. Was it a long drive from Epcot over to Magic? What do you think, time-wise?
I'd say from the time that we got in line, once we got in line for the bus to the time we were in Hollywood Studios, was probably about 45 minutes.
Oh, I made better time than that.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Buses weren't running
It
as
probably took me
frequent for me.
20 waiting and riding.
Okay, well that's not bad. So somewhere between 20 and 45 minutes.
He is Dwayne Bevel, and you were not. Maybe that's
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they probably
Everyone
saw
got
him
out of the way
coming.
for me.
That's right.
Deal right
I
there.
can't even get a tie at the office from a coworker. So.
Did you get one, Dwayne? Did you get one of these fancy ties yet?
No, I have my own ties, but I don't have a gift tie.
We're going to go request one
Yes.
from Matt
We're gonna talk to
immediately
Matt right
after
now.
walking
Some of
out
us
here.
are fancier than others.
Yeah, do it. All right.